Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Mr. Kadim Khan and I am a lecturer in the Institute of Computing, Quart University of Science and Technology. Today we will take lecture number 29 of the subject of visual programming, in which we are going to discuss the graphical device interface in C#.NET. And here we will discuss the brush, Hetch brush, image and the Bezier classes in Visual C#.NET. Dear students, in the previous two lectures we have discussed the different functions and properties of the GDI, and also we have discussed the pin class in the C#.NET language. Now here, this is the last topics of lecture number 29, in which we will discuss the brush, Hetch brush, image and the Bezier classes. So stay tuned with us. This is the discussion agenda. It contains the topics of the working with the brushes, how we will work with the brushes in the GDI. Then we have the example of brush class. Then we have the working with the Hetch brush class. Then we have rendering the images and examples of the rendering images. And the end we have the fill path and the example of the Beziers. So this lecture is very much practical and thoroughly. It's very much important for you. Now, brush basically, as its name says, in daily life we use the brush. In the brush we can perform painting. So the brush class is in fact derived from the system class, and basically the drawing class is derived from the system class and the brush class is also derived from the drawing class. So means that brush class is indirectly derived from the system class while it's directly using the drawing class. So we will use system.drawing.brush library here in our program. So you just need to import using system.drawing libraries for brush class. So it is used to fill the region and used to fill a region with a certain color pattern or with the help of the image. Brush class is an abstract types and we cannot use it directly, but we can use the brush class as a base class to the other related brush types. For example, we have the solid brush, Hetch brush, linear gradient brush, and so forth. So we have multiple types of the brush other classes that we can use. These are different types of brush when we want to fill a particular regions with a certain colors or patterns or with the image. So we use the brush class here. This is the example of the brush class. First, we should discuss the output here. You can see that these three or four different regions are filled. These two are filled with the blue color using the brush, and this is filled with the black color. This is the pi symbols here. That is the pi object. This is in fact a polygon and it is filled with the purple brush. So you can see that different objects are filled with a certain brushes. Now we will discuss how it is done in the Visual C#.NET. So first we need to override the protected function that is onPaint. This is the protected means that it is derived from the base class, and base class has only the particular child class, and this function cannot be used outside of the inheritance. Override means that this is overridden, means that this is re-implemented, and this the body of the class re-implement onPaint function. Void means that it doesn't return anything. You can see that there is no return statement in this whole code. Now paint event args_e is in fact a class which represents the data of this function. This data will be in fact provided as the output when this onPaint function is called here, and E is the object of the paint event args class. First we have created the instance G of the graphics class. Graphics G is equal to E.graphics, and E.graphics is in fact the class which is assigned to the G. So G is the instant of the grasses and it contains complete graphics capabilities. Now solid brush, here we have declared a brush called the solid brush. Solid brush, then we have the blue brush is equal to new solid brush color dot blue. You can see that the brush has been declared here and the brush color is blue. We have provided the color dot blue in the parameter of the solid brush here. Next, we have here defines another pin here, that is the pin for this solid brush. Another, we have defined the pins here. So pin is also based on the solid brush, so that's why pin 2 is the object of the solid brush class is equal to solid brush brushes dot fire break. Now fire break is a color here which is uh, exactly basically not so much exactly, but it is nearly equal to the reddish colors, but this is more reddish and it's exactly like something, the black colors is mixed with the red colors, then the fabric colors is created. Solid brushes, that means that the pin 2 is in fact the instance of the solid brush. You can see this is the solid brush constructor and it represents the brushes here. Multiple brushes will be implemented in pin 2. Now we are here drawing certain components on the surface of the form. So g dot fill ellipse, this will print the fill ellipse. Now remember that in .NET and in the GDI there is no circle. G dot fill ellipse will create the circle. If you provide certain values, for example 10 comma 10 and 100 comma 100, so you can see that there are two parameters same and these two parameters same. That means that the circle will be printed here and the circle color is blue brush. So blue brush fills the circle. So if you use a pin instead of the brush, it will be the empty circles but with the blue lines. Now it will be the filled circle with the blue brush and it is in fact the ellipse, not the circle, because we have g dot fill ellipse function. Next one is g dot fill pi. It will print the pi and the pi will be the black filled. It will be filled with the black colors. Now there are 3 points in the pi. So 150 comma 10, 120 comma 150 and 90 comma 80. So x-axis, y-axis, this is the first point. Similarly, this is first x-axis, y-axis of the second point. Similarly, this is the x-axis and y-axis of the third point on the surface of the form. Now, if you see the output, there are three different vertices of this pi. First vertex, second and third, and first and third, the last vertex will be connected with the arc here. So it will print the pi here. Next one is the solid brush, brush 3. Another brush has been created and this is the purple brush. So that is the constructor of the solid brush and the purple brush is created and new parameters, that is the pointer here. It is also called the operators that provides memories to this object. G dot fill polygon brush 3. So we are creating a filled polygon with the brush 3. And how many points are there? All the points are declared here. So new point is the array, means that the array is provided here and the array contains first point with the x-axis of 30 and 40, second point 265, 20, 200, third points 100, 25, fourth point 190, 190 and fifth point 50, 330 and the last one is 6.20, 180. Now, if you go to the output, there will be 6 points, 6 vertices of this polygon. First, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is in fact 6. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, you look, first vertex, second vertex, third vertex, fourth vertex, fifth vertex and sixth vertex. So all these 6 vertices will be acted as an input for the filled polygon here. Now we have also declared another rectangle R is equal to new rectangles. Here we have created a rectangle 150, 10 is the first point and third point is 130, 60. Now that means that this rectangle start of this point and end will be the second point will be up to here. Not second point is not this one, and this is also not the second point. First point here and second point will be here. So this will also print the solid filled rectangle with the blue brush, comma R. So brush is dark blue means that the blue brushes will be this solid rectangle will be filled with the blue brush. Now GDI drawstring, hello out there, how are you? This is the drawstring function. It will draw these strings, comma. Second parameter is the font, and the font of the string is Arial, and the size is 12. Brush is dot white. This will be the white text, and it will be printed inside of this R rectangle. R rectangle is here. So you can see that this is the output here. Now we will execute this example in the Visual Studio. For this purpose, you need this code to transfer into your form. So create a new Windows applications here. When you will create a new Windows application, you will get this form. Now right click on this form, click on the view code. When you will right click on the form and click on the view code, you will see the constructors form 1, and form 1 is a class as well, and it is inherited from the form. So we need to implement the onPrint functions here. So for this purpose, just transfer this code from here to here. Now you can see that the code has been transferred from here to the other sides of in the Visual Studio. Now to monitor the output, you just click on the start button. This is the green buttons. Then the output will be displayed here. So click here to run the and see the output. This is the output which has been created by the Visual Studio here. Now for the other topics, we will resume the slides. This is the output slides which we have monitored when we executed the program. Now working with the Hetch brushes. Hetch brushes is in fact two-dimensional brushes here. So you can see this is something Hetch brush, like when you want to paint, then you use the Hetch brushes. This is another style of the Hetch brushes. This is another one, and similarly this is another style of the Hetch brushes. Hetch brushes are implemented in this using system drawing dot two dimension. So you need to import this library onto the top of your form. So by using system.drawing 2D, you do not need um, uh, import this library outside of the Visual Studio. That is in the part of the Visual Studio. Just you need to write this library on the top of your programs. This namespaces will use the Hetch brushes. So already that is implemented in Drawing 2D library. So this allows you to fill the region with a very large number of predefined patterns. These are different predefined patterns, and these predefined patterns are provided by the Hetch styles enumeration. Now this is the example here. Uh, Example is to print or to fill certain regions with a certain sort of the Hetch brushes. So first you will write this library on the top of your program in the library section. So using system.drawing 2D. This is the namespace here. Next is the protected functions on print. Protected means that is in fact implemented in the base class. You are just calling it in your child class here, and it is override function. Override means that you need to re-implement this, so because it is already built-in function, you have overrided it. So that is override function. Next one is the void. Void means that it doesn't return anything. You can see there is no such return statements here. On print is the functions, and print event ergs is the class, and e is the object here. So print event ergs, e is the object here, and on print is the class here. Graphics g is equal to e dot graphics. So here G is the object of the graphic class, and E.graphics is in fact a class which is access to the object of E, and G is the object instantiated with the graphics class. First we have declares in offsets 10 int y offset 10. Y offset means that y axis offset which is from the top to bottom. Here we have created the array obj nm.getValues types of Hetch styles. So Hetch styles is in fact obtained from here, that is the different Hetch styles brushes, and that is stored in the arrays obj. Now we have the loops, so draw overall 5 Hetch style brushes. The loop will be executed from 0 to 4. So x is less than 5, that's why it will be in fact loop will be executed from 0 to 4, that is 4 times. Not, in fact 5 times 0, from 0 to 4 is 5 times. Now this is the body of the loop. Here Hetch styles is in fact provided here through the Hetch style object that get value x. X is stored here. For example, get value is to 0. First Hetch styles, which is the horizontal, get value 1. Second Hetch styles, which is also horizontal. Third one is vertical. Fourth one is forward diagonals, and fifth one is a backward diagonals here. So a Hetch brush, the brush is going to use Hetch brush, comma temp. So Hetch brush will be in fact provided here, comma color dot white, color dot black. So color dot white means here will be the white lines inside of the Hetch brushes, and black color means that overall the brush will be black here. So this is exactly like the hair in the brush, and this is actually the paint, that is the black is the paint and white are the hairs here. So these two colors are provided here. Next, first we need to draw the names of the brushes here. So for this purpose we are using g.drawStrings, temp.toStrings. First we are hearing provided the name of the brush. So from the temp.toStrings the brush name will be printed here, and the font for this string will be Times New Roman styles and 10 size. And then we have brushes dot black, means that the black color strings will be printed. 0 comma y offset 0 means that starting from the top left corners, that is x-axis is 0, but you can see that the y-axis is changing here. So y-axis is the y offsets, which is incremented with the 40. So there is the 40 space between these two strings. Among these two strings, you can see that any two strings there is a 40 difference. So that's why starting offset is here 10. You can start one is 10, the next is 40, 50. In fact 10 plus 40, 50. Then next will be on the 90 position, next one will be 130 position, last one will be on 170 position. So 40 will be added with each 10 hairs through using this loop. And 20 comma 25 will be the second points of this strings, that is this strings will be in fact printed here. Next is g dot fill ellipse. Fill ellipse means that this ellipse will be printed using the brush curves. So g dot fill ellipse, the brush comma 150, here the brush 150 is the first point, second point is in fact this ellipse requires 2 points here, first point and second point. Now the first axis of the first point is constants. You can see that x-axis is constants here, this one, and this one, this one. But y-axis of this first point is changing towards the downsides, because x-axis is from the left to right and y-axis is from the top to bottom. So that's why y-axis is changing. And similarly, second point value is also constant, 200 comma 25. So 200 comma 25 is the second point's values. So that is still exact like the same here. So this will print all these things, that is the different edge brushes on the screens here. Now dear students, we will implement this code in the Visual Studio. For this purpose, click on the escape button. When you click on the escape buttons, first we need this portion of the code. We have already implemented onPrint functions in our previous examples here. This was the previous example. Now we will immediately transfer this code here after the code. Now you can see that there are certain error messages. First, this is the shows that already G has been declared here. You can see that this G object is declared here above, so you can remove this G objects already. Go to the library sections, that is the header file sections right here, using system dot drawing 2D. Now you can see that we have typed the library and now there is no error messages here because we have provided the initial library. Now to execute these statements this program, just click on the start green buttons, and now you can see that these are different names of the brushes and these are the different LFC filled with the certain types of brush hairs. For example, if you want to change the colors here, you can change the colors of that brush as well. For example, the color is white. For example, if I want to change it dot red, and the I want to change this black dot to, for example, pink. Now again run the program. Now you can see that the color has been changed here for this example. Now we will resume our slides. So go to the slide section, run the slides again here. The next is rendering the image. Sometimes we also need the collection of images on our form. So for this purpose we will use system.drawing.image libraries here. So already system.drawing will work here. So it will draw different images on the surface of the form here. We can set the image class. The image class will supplies width, height and size properties for the different images, and these are used as the dimensions of the images here. So we will use the image class to specify the width, height and size of the images here. Now this is the examples here. You can see that this is our form and there are three different images on the form. First, we need to implement the using system.drawing.drawing2D library here. After writing this library, then we will implement or we will initiate the arrays of the bitmap. So private bitmap, my images is equal bitmap 3. So it defines the arrays of 3 images. Then in the constructor, we have initialized the images. First image reference is equal to new bitmap and the image stores in E directory with the name of image1 im1.jpg extension. Similarly, my images 1 is the second reference of the array's image, my image1, and its path is im2.jpg. So in the E directory it is im2.jpg. Similarly, this is the third image and bitmap is a constructor here. Next, you need to also override the protected override void print functions. That means that onPrint is implemented in the base class. That's why we have protected it, and it can be used in the childs only. Override means that it has been re-implemented here in this program. That's why we have defined the body of this function. Void means it is not returning anything. You can see there is no return statement in this program. OnPrint is the name of the function. Print event ERGSE means that this is the event function and it prints and the data. And the data is in fact here, that is the g.draw images here. First we have instantiated the G object of the graphics. Graphics G is equal to e.graphics. It is instantiated from the e.graphics class and G is in fact the objects. Next is int y offsets, because we need this point's value and this point's value. So here the offset is starting from the 10 here, and it is in fact an integer value. Now here is the for each loop, because already we are using the bitmap array. So bitmap b in my images, my image is the name of the array of the bitmap type b. Now g dot dry image b, b here will be the image. In fact it is the instance of the array here, comma first point and second point. So first point is in fact 10 here, and second point is the offset. For this purpose initially it will be 10, and 90 comma 90 is the point, this one. So 2 points defines the size of the image as well. And y offsets plus is equal to 100, that means that the offset will be incremented with the 100 here. Now dear students, we will implement this example in a Visual Studio. For this purpose, click on the escape button. When you click on the escape button, first you need to transfer the code here. So first you have to transfer this part of the code into your previous example. So first you have to implement the arrays. This one is the array of 3 images, and the arrays is of the bitmap. Next you have to provide the reference to 3 different images in the arrays. These are 3 different images, and the images is provided here. Now my images are here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is the JPG images. You can see that these are the JPG images. All these 3 are the JPG images, and the name of these images are 1, 2, 3, 3 different books here. So that's why, and these are in the F directory, not in the E. So you can change your images locations according to your computer. So I'm changing here. So I have 3 different images: 1.jpg, 2.jpg, and 3.jpg in the F directories. Next, I will go to the onPrint function. This is onPrint function. So I need to implement the code end of this functions here. So I will transfer this code to the end of this function. I will start from here because already the G object has been instantiated in the previous code. So I will just transfer this code here. Now our code has been completed, and there is no certain error messages. You can see that this is very clean code. Now click on this green button to start executing this code here. So click here. When you click here, you can see that these are 3 different images, and the images are the book page images here. 1, 2, 3. So that was the output. Now we will resume our slides for the next topics. Next topic is also very much interesting. That is the path. Uh, Fill path used to fill the path of a certain Bezier. So here we will draw a Bezier, and the Bezier has the different components, and it has a certain curve as well. So drawing the Bezier curve is little bit complex, but also very much interesting here. So we need different points here. For example, if we are drawing a curve here, so it will be the starting of first, and that is starting of the second point, start of the first point and end of the second point. So from here to here we will specify different vertex here. So vertex of this points up to the vertex of this points, we can draw certain curves, and that curve will be the Bezier here. Now this code is used to implement the Beziers. First we have to do it on print functions. You can also use any other event as well. So here we are using on print because on the end print we have the E objects, and E is initiated from print event args E. You will call this functions. If you have implemented this function in somewhere else, when you will click on the buttons to print this, then you will call these functions, or you will provide this code inside of that event. So first we have instantiated the G object, graphics G is equal to E dot graphics, G dot fill rectangle new solid brush, color white, and then client rectangle. So first we have printed a rectangle here, G dot fill, it will be fill rectangle with the white color. So first is the first rectangle with the white color. You can see that white color is not visible here because it is mixing with this background of the form. So this is the fill rectangle, first one, and then graphics path, new graphics path, new point. Here first point, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, and sixth point. So here we will show you six different points here to plot the rectangle here. Then we have path point dot starts. This is the start of the Bezier. Any point start means that this is represent the byte integers, which is from 1 up to maximum 127, and it starts the Beziers. Then another point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, and sixth point. Total we have the 6 points here. So there are total 6 points here. First point, second, third, fourth, and there is fifth, and that is the 6 points here. So total there are multiple points here that has been plotted using the Bezier. Now we will provide the path gradient brush here as well. So path gradient brush is the brush which will fill this rectangles or this Bezier is equal to new path gradient brush path. So here the path will be provided here, and the path is basically a collection of 6 different points here. So all these points are provided here with the also the start and the other Bezier and lines properties here. Now PGP, which is the path gradient brush object that surrounded colors, even new colors here, we will provide different colors surrounding that path gradient brush, and the brush has always the colors. For example, when we do printing everywhere, for example on the walls, so we need to dip the brush inside of the paint bucket, and then when we perform the painting, then that particular painting will be done there on the wall. So PBG dot surrounding colors means that we also needs to provide the color collections to this path gradient brush here. So first color is green colors. You can see this one is the green color. Then color dot yellow. Second one is this yellow color. Third one is this red color. Fourth one is this blue color, and last color is next color is color dot orange, which is the orange color, and last color you can see that there is the mixing with the white because the background of this window is also white, so you cannot see the white, but here is also the white color. So this is the white colors here, and G dot fill path, PBG dot path, here we will printing the filled path here. So path PBG, which is the paint gradient brush, and the path, two parameters define the fill path here. So that is already fill path with the multiple colors here. Now if you run the output, you will see this exact output here on your form here. So you can see that different colors are mixed in the page gradient brush here. Path gradient brush means that multiple colors are combined with each other to display or the draw the fill path using the points in the path as well as with the brush value. So all these colors are in fact taken as the brush, and then the components, this image has been this diagram has been printed using a certain measurement values, that is the point values, and as well as with the color values. Now dear student, this is the end of the lectures. If you want to read more, you can study this book. The book is very much useful. That is the Practical C# Charts and Graphics, second edition, Advanced Charts and Graphics Programming for Real World .NET Applications. and that is written by the Jexu, the PhD. And still, if you have any question, you can ask the question to the email. My email is m.kadim@kust.edu.pk. I will wait for your questions and will respond to your questions soon as I get your emails. Thank you very much.